Welcome back to Share Truth Apply Scripture. I'm Jordan Chambly, joined as always by Wesley Wildman and Cedra Sarton, and we are discussing entertainment, technology, screen time, social media. It's a big world that has a lot of pitfalls, a lot of great stuff. So it's just a mix of good and bad. But if we know anything about humanity, if we know anything about ourselves, we will always find ourselves in the pits, in the bad parts.
I think last week was easier when we were talking about how to do this for your kids.
We're always much more objective when it's someone else's life.
Because it's so much easier for me to go there and going, I think there should be an age limit.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we weren't allowed to do this. So
we weren't allowed to do that. They shouldn't. If we didn't have it, they shouldn't have it, and stuff like that. But then when I look at myself, like one of the things we talked about is limiting screen time. Mm-hmm. And then we try to talk about it here, and I'm like, that's something I need to continue to work on.
I mean, how many times have we looked up at the clock and been like, oh no, 2 hours have passed
been
and
playing,
I have not done a thing.
I'm sitting here, and I was like, I'm on level 5,000 of Candy Crush, and
oh, you're one of those people. Okay.
I am, and you can go ahead and just take your judgment over there.
How far?
Yes,
I haven't played, so I don't know how great it is.
Yeah. Anyways. So. Shun the non-believer. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So I guess this one's going to be a little bit harder.
This one is more human, I think, because this is not a product that has been made by a company that has no connections within it. You know, this is social media, and this is social. You know, there's going to be people there. There's going to be relationships that can be made or broken, or people can be potentially offended.
It's called social media, but it be ruining social
interactions
all the time.
Well, I don't know if it's ruining it or showing it for what it really is under the surface. So. Because I think a danger of social media a lot of times is that you don't see someone's face, and so you're a lot braver. You know, there's a lot less filters between you and a keyboard. You know,
it's also a lot easier to fake it on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can make a picture look good.
Yeah, you can make, everything from, filters and changing your picture, getting the right angle, the right lighting. You can change the way you look, but also with the post you make, you can portray this world that you live in, but really when you go and you see the real thing up close, is like, you're not anything like.
That's particularly dangerous when it comes to Christians. If on social media, if we're not being honest, and not saying that you have to share everything. In fact, err on the side of not sharing enough of your life, please. You'll avoid a lot.
Just post funny memes and move on.
Just be a nice person who doesn't have any strong opinions on social media, and we'll all get along.
Yes, just like everybody's pictures and just keep going.
For Christians, if we only post, we're posting the Bible verses. We're doing the inspirational, pictures of a sunrise with your coffee cup and your Bible, and you're having a cute little quiet time, And a lot of people can get this idea that you are spiritually someone that you're not. And I mean, a lot of people can think, oh, this is just setting a good example. But it really isn't, because that's not what the Christian life is.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Christian life is very different than your social media posts will make it seem. So it's best to not do that.
I've done it before when I've posted a Bible verse and like, this speaks to me, and then really
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, but on the inside I'm crumbling apart, and it's not at all what I'm feeling.
Right, yeah.
And that's dishonest. And it really is.
Or even worse than that, doing it to impress people.
Oh yeah.
Posting maybe something's happening in your life that's actually an issue, and our hearts, man, we can take that opportunity to be like, you know what, I can make a lot of people either feel sorry for me or think highly of me, and act as if I'm this, something that I'm not. And it's not for God's glory, it's for mine.
Right. And I'm doing something very important right now.
Yeah,
that you're
on social media. No, you're not.
Yeah, exactly. That you would only be able to see if you went to our YouTube channel. So you need to go check out Engage Magazine YouTube channel. Is that how you to describe it? That's a
Yeah,
if they type in Engage, or how would they get there?
If they type in Engage Magazine, I think other stuff.
You might find a couple of other things, but we're among them.
Yeah. Tell you what, the easiest way: go to engagemagazine.net If you scroll down on the page,
Yeah,
you'll
just
find our
halfway
YouTube
down the page,
videos.
you find our YouTube videos, and you
Yep,
can watch them
and
there.
click on it from there and have
And
fun.
that's how you'll be
Share
able
with
to
your
see,
friends and family on social
and
media.
watch
please.
all my vlogs.
and you'll be able to
Please do.
see all the cool stuff I'm doing right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But,
you don't
on-
want to miss this.
Right. Hey, on a serious note, I've written about this a couple of times. One, you need to go check it out. We'll put it up on our Facebook page, social media. We'll repost it. It's something I wrote a couple of years back, but it's the title's called "Pause Before You Post."
Exactly.
I totally dropped the ball, and I did everything contrary to what we just talked about, and it totally backfired. And it was a bad reputation, or it was a bad example of of my maturity as a Christian as a result of like dropping these balls. And so I learned a lot. And I went back to the person that, of course, I offended and was totally out of line. And I apologized to them both publicly and personally. And it just meant a lot to me. And that inspired me to write this article, Pause Before You Post. Just a couple of the bullet points. I'll just give you two of the four, because I don't want you to go read it.
Yeah, yeah.
But one of the things I learned is to read a post in its entirety and think about it before responding, if you so choose to respond, because oftentimes people read the headlines, which are intentionally set obviously to get you to respond, or they may even read the first paragraph. And so pause before you post. I read the post in its entirety, and secondly, a response to what y'all were just talking about earlier, we also need to ask ourselves the question, how is this beneficial? Does this make any difference if I post this
That's
in the life of someone else?
Man.
You know what I mean? Ask yourself that. Is it really going to make a difference, or is it going to make me feel good for me to get it out there? Type thing?
Or even, will it even make you feel good?
Yeah.
I wish I had that article when I was around 15 years old.
Oh, I learned a lot.
I said or posted so many just absolutely dumb things.
And Facebook is bringing it back to you every day with Facebook
It's
memories.
like, hey, remember how
Yeah,
dumb you were
hey, you
5
remember
years
what
ago?
you said when you were like 17? I'm like, I do, and I'm
I'm
deleting
not
that
that
post.
person anymore.
Yeah,
Or,
but
it's
I-
actually a good thing. You can go back and you can delete them as they come up in your memory
I
or whatever.
think when it comes to that, if you have a moment's pause on what you're posting, you're like, should I post this? Do not post it right away. And it may be something. It may be something. If it's something like you're sharing something because you think it'll help somebody, that's one thing. Still think through it, but I mean, if you think this might cause damage or something, don't post it.
That's the thing. If anyone's mind on anything has been changed on social media or because of a social media post, I guarantee you it's a rare occurrence.
Oh yeah, it'd be in the minority for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I actually had a real experience with a guy, and this was back a few years ago. I got into a conversation with a guy. Some people were posting on a Facebook page very hateful things towards LGBT people who are, and stuff, and saying like, and they were supposed to be Christians.
Yeah.
And their words
But they were
were,
misrepresenting.
it wasn't like, this is, God's plan for you is this. And he can give you hope for a better
Sure,
future and
absolutely.
change things for you. But it was a lot of hateful words. And I'm like, you're not changing any minds. And a gentleman started messaging me who was a gay man, and he started talking back and forth. And at first his questions were really aggressive.
Yeah.
And I never made
Because that's
any,
what he was expecting.
Yeah.
I made one post and I prayed over it really hard, and it was because I was seeing all the negativity.
Yeah.
And so I made one long post that was just about like, the love of God and how he can change you. And this guy started messaging me, and he started asking me questions, and I was like, do not answer. And, do not answer.
Yeah.
Do not answer him the way he was asking you. And I kept doing it. And before I know it, he was asking real questions
Yeah.
and
That's
stuff
good.
like that. And like
Soft answer turns
yeah.
away wrath.
And the
That's
last thing
true.
he said, well, I'm going to be gone for a few days and I won't be able to be here to talk to you.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, can I ask you one question before you go? And he said, yeah, sure. I said, well, why have you continued to talk to me? And he said, because I could tell you don't hate me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So just so you know, sometimes when you're posting something, think about it.
Yeah.
And if it's not, even if you're posting something that you believe, if it's not edifying to God and it's not gonna work to change minds, like really change minds and show truly what God stands for, don't post it.
Truth without grace is never a good idea.
No,
Exactly.
you got to have them both. A couple other things on that is I've learned, and this is talking about communication in general, especially if it has to do with a conflict or something. that is a disagreement on,
Mm-hmm.
always, especially as us believers, followers of Christ, we're always focused on the issue or the problem or whatever. We never don't focus. The Satan wants you to get caught up in the person and arguing with them, and then your name call, and then you're talking about their stepmom. You know, that's Satan wants to drive you in that direction.
Yeah.
But ultimately, as a Christian, we're more concerned about a person who is apart from Christ in certain areas, wherever that is. And so we need to focus on the issue and not the person, so to speak. And don't get caught up in that back and forth thing, because that's easy to do, because they're going to tempt you to get back in that type of work. So you always focus on the person.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you said, the love and patience and expressed in your communication is the most effective way to communicate in any way. So, and privately, always is even better, you know, should be the first.
Yeah, because on social media, you're not dealing with people. You're dealing with a edited version of themselves.
That's right.
They're only putting things out there that they think look good or make them look good in some way. So when in a public comment thread, and you're having a discussion, you're not dealing with them, really. You're dealing with the version of themselves that they're editing that's like pre-approved that other people can see this, because they don't want to embarrass themselves.
Yeah, they're not going to say what they
you're
really
not going to get to the heart of the issue. You're just going to be arguing back and forth, each one trying to make the other look bad so they can look good, and that's just human nature.
And you're trying to win the soul, not the person.
Exactly, and that should be your goal. You
But
have
don't
to
compromise.
No,
There's a
yeah.
balance here.
Yeah. Don't
go,
compromise
okay,
the
sounds
truth.
good, yeah.
If you find yourself having to struggle, presenting the truth, but getting angry at the same time, maybe it's best for you to avoid those situations.
Back up, yeah.
and pray.
And I honestly think if there's something that's causing you to stumble on social media, purge it,
hide it,
delete it,
unfollow, unfriend, whatever.
I mean, you've just gotten rid of everything, so you don't have that problem. But there are ones that have become. I think we know several that are extremely dangerous. I'll go ahead and name one. Snapchat, I think is, and I don't even have it on this phone anymore. I used to have it, but honestly. And I never used it for anything other than to send goofy faces to my friends, like, hey, you wake up at 3 a.m. and you open your phone and there's me, just like what is she doing? This is why she's single.
Oh, boy.
But it's type things.
Okay,
but
I was actually doing something important over here. You're laughing and she's saying what?
We're having fun.
Okay.
We're having fun. But I think that there are ones, if it's causing you to stumble in any way, if it's Instagram, usually, and you start posting, and all you're doing is posting selfies and stuff like that. But if it becomes a pride thing, and who's liking my page, if it's and it becomes like that, that's a stumbling block. Get rid of it if you have to.
I guarantee, with less social media, with less of a stream coming at you constantly. Hello. With less of a stream coming at you constantly.
I had everything covered.
You're gonna actually feel a lot of relief, but the most important thing is that you clear away the rubble between you and Christ.
Absolutely.
Spend time in the Word. If you have to put down the phone, do it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
And that's what we hope you do here at Share Truth Apply Scripture. If you enjoyed this program, stay tuned for next week where we'll have another show. And we hope to see you then. So thank you for listening.